Hi, my name is Jessica, and this is my story about realizing how God has stood by me through everything. I grew up in a non-Christian family. My mother was abusive to me, and I was taken into foster care when I was 6 years old. I was placed with Jan and Will, a Christian family, the most loving people I'd ever met. When I was 12 years old, I was at Calvary Church youth event, and my youth pastor was talking about how God was with us through everything that we had been through, and He was by our side, and He never left us, and He loved us. And it just made me realize that what He was saying, that God was with me through those things, and the pain that I had been feeling, God had felt too, and that He didn't leave me. And when I came into foster care and was placed in this amazing family that loved me and cherished me as their daughter, that was His blessing for me. That was Him showing me so much love because of the things I had been through, and me realizing that He didn't leave me. He was with me through it all. That night, I accepted God as my Savior. I accepted Him. I didn't necessarily understand everything I was supposed to do. I was still worried, and I was still confused, and I was still hurt, and I had to work through all of those things. But I knew that it was the right thing I needed to do because He loved me so much, and He had been with me through all the things that had happened so far in my life. Realized that one of the biggest things I needed to do was to forgive my mom. Forgive her for the hurt that she had caused me. There eventually came a night where I just was able to sit down and was able to cry and just give it all to God and be like, this is the hurt that I've had against my mom. And after that night, I was able to forgive her, and I was able to realize that I actually loved her in a way that I couldn't have loved her before. Loved her because God loved me, and He gave me that love to love her. I realized that she was never going to be that mom that I wanted her to be. She couldn't be that mom, but I have forgiven her for the things that she had caused in my life. So the next trial that I had to go through in my life was losing my papa. When I was 15, I found out that he was extremely ill and he wouldn't have much longer. So I got angry and frustrated at God because I felt like He was taking away that person that I needed most in my life. Then on June 5th, he passed away of the same year, and I was devastated. I was frustrated. I was angry, and I was able to just trust God that I was going to be able to get through this period of hurting and grieving, and I did. It took a while, but I was able to be like, God, I just trust You, and I need You right now. I need You by my side to take away this pain that I'm feeling. The last thing that I really went through that helped shape my faith in who I am today was that same August, I got into a dilemma, a problem with the foster family, Jen and Will, that I had been living with, and we didn't know how to solve the problem. So it came down to that they had asked me to leave. And so I was so lost. I had nowhere to go. I had no family. I didn't have any friends I wanted to talk to. And I felt like God wasn't there either. So I started getting into things that I wouldn't have normally got into, partying, because I just didn't care anymore. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I stood with my life. I didn't know where God was. And it was during that time of being hurt and frustrated and confused that Ben and Shoshana had let me come into their family to say, and really just gave me that peace and that family atmosphere that I needed to help stabilize me. And I started to work through those things. Ben had just really helped me to find that longing and desire again for God, and I started to search after Him and to learn more and to rebuild my faith and to just try to figure out who I was again in God. Jan had tried to reconnect with me, and I knew that there was going to be a point where I needed to be able to give that hurt that I was feeling towards her to God. And so I was able to look at her and see past my own little perspective of frustration and hurt and respect her as a woman for the decision she had to make. And that took a lot of strength, but it was strength that I got from God because I was not going to be able to do it on my own. I want to show to the church and to the world and to myself that I have chosen to follow God. I am going to do whatever God needs me to do in my life, I'm willing and I'm obedient to His plan. And it's something to symbolize to me to look back on my life and to see the things that I've gone through, the trials, and to see that God was in every single situation and that He's still standing here beside my side today. So I just want to be able to show that to everybody, that my passion, my love, and desire for God.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Jessica, and this is my story about realizing how God has stood by me through everything.